Hey everyone, this is Dawn and welcome back once again to my channel. We are coming up to prompt 7, which is tuck spot, and of course we are continuing with the Junk Journal January 2025 challenge. So I think it's a challenge. I don't know. So let's see. We are going on to page 7 or prompt 7. It's not technically page 7, but you know. All right, so this was our last spread, and then here we go. So let's see, tuck spot is what I said. When I saw this plain brown page, I was like, oh, what am I going to do with that? Because I like color and pattern, and I don't gravitate towards browns or grays or that kind of thing. But, you know, we're distressing. It's got the brown theme going on. So I figured, okay, let's figure out what we're going to do with it. So what I did is, this is something I hoard. It is an Edith Holden book, The Country Diary of an Edwardian Woman, and I'm sure, or an Edwardian lady, excuse me, that a lot of you guys have seen these books. Many people craft with them, but I got this one years ago. I've used it a few times, so I took a page out of this since we are doing a January Junk Journal challenge. I pulled out the page. It was January, and I kind of did not tear it very well. I was having a struggle. And let's see, I'm going to take out, as usual, the bottom portion of my journal, and I'm not going to bind it until the end just because it's easier to work with. And all right. And then here's our center seam. So, all right, what I did, this was the other side of this page that I trimmed off, and I really loved just the beautiful leaves. The artwork in these is just gorgeous. So I thought I would glue this down, and I guess let me go ahead and start by gluing that down. That's what we're going to do. All right, and of course I'm using my trusty Fabri-Tac here until I find or get some art glitter glue. I probably have some. I just gotta stop and go looking for it. Okay, so this portion we're just going to glue straight down. This is going to be a very simple layout. Again, just really just a handful of pieces, not even a handful, just a few pieces really. Because this right here is the star of the show. You really don't need much more of anything else. All right, I think that's where we want it. And then for the tuck spot, I figured this side can just be a tuck spot. I thought about leaving the top open, but this the paper's not the thickest, and I really don't want to reinforce it anymore. And it is an older page too, so I want to be careful with that. So, all right, so I'm going to glue this on 3 sides and then make sure that I leave a little room in the center fold so it doesn't bend too much into there. So, all right, 3 sides. I just don't want to glue the opening. That could happen. I'm sure I've done it before. It's also got the January and some notes on the back talking about the seasons. All right, so let's see. Let's hold it from this side where the glue is not. And there's my center area. And I want to line this up also. Yes, right about there. Oh, I think this image is just beautiful. Works nicely with the brown background. And of course, I've distressed all the edges with the vintage photo. Yeah, that's what it's called. All right, and that's really about all there is to it. And what I thought, yeah, that leaves an okay pocket. Let that hold. But that's going to leave enough. I was worried it was going to be not enough give in there, and I don't think we really need a whole lot, but if you put something in there, you want to be able to get it out, right? And then with the birds, and of course I picked the birds because there's birds on this page, which is going to be the opposite. What's this one going to be? Antique. Oh, I got to think about that one. Anyways, with the birdies, I was thinking about their singing. And I pulled a music sheet. I love to find old music books when I thrift. What am I looking for? Scissors. I've already done the distress ink on all of these things, so I'm going to trim that off right here. Hopefully I can do it evenly. Should have done it before I glued that page down. Okay. Hope my head's not in the way. Probably is. All right, I trimmed that a little bit crooked, so it's gonna drive me crazy a little bit. Yes, the perfectionism is real. Okay, and hopefully it's not too short now, but you know, we'll go with it. Okay, so, oh yeah, that'll do. That will do. All right, let's glue this down. I thought about leaving this other little side where I could maybe tuck something into it, but this paper again is not very thick. Music paper's thinner than that one, I think. All right, so I'm just going to add this a little bit of detail on the side. Oh, pay attention to the bottom, Dawn. Always getting the glue everywhere. Oh, I really like the page there. And then really I was going to find a few more things to put into the tuck spot, but I went, again, I like to thrift old books and things with pretty pictures or devotions, or not necessarily poetry so much, but I found this book page. I didn't bring in the book that it's from. Kind of like a devotional poetry kind of book. Faith is a Mighty Fortress, but I really chose it because look at the, this will be my the back side, and then this was the bird's nest, which just works so lovely. This was not in this book. A beautiful poem here. After the winter, God sends the spring. So I like this message. I'll go ahead and read it to you. Springtime is a season of hope and joy and cheer. There's beauty all around us to see and touch and hear. So no matter how downhearted and discouraged we may be, new hope is born when we behold leaves budding on a tree, or when we see a timid flower push through the frozen sod and open wide in glad surprise its petaled eyes to God. For this is just God saying, lift up your eyes to me, and the bleakness of your spirit, like the budding springtime tree, will lose its wintry darkness, and your heavy heart will sing. For God never sends the winter without the joy of spring. So maybe somebody needed to hear that today, and I think it's a lovely message. I won't go into it a whole lot, but I have not been on YouTube in probably like 3 years, and I am a caretaker for my mother. She has Alzheimer's, and she has lived with me for about 4.5 years, and it has its challenges. And then in the last 2 years, in about an 18-month period, we lost 5 family members, and I'm not saying this for a bunch of sympathy. It was really kind of one after the other, and it really knocked us off of our feet with a really good. Anyways, it was a very, very hard time, and it still is. But we are moving on. I say there were 6 family members, but technically one was the brother of my sister-in-law, and but I'm saying all of that to say is we went through that really rough period, and I have 4 grandchildren. My 2 youngest ones just turned a year old, and now 3 of my nieces are pregnant. Babies coming in February and March. So we lost 5 family members, and 5 new ones are coming, and it's just been joyful and wonderful. So anyways, that message really spoke to me, and if someone else needs to hear it. So I'm going to just push that little page right into here, and this is very, very simple, and I think this artwork speaks for itself. It is so beautiful, so I don't think there's anything else we need to do. All right, so then I need to think about what we're gonna do for our next page, which is antique. I don't know, but we will figure it out as always. Again, thank you guys for the new, had some new subscribers come along, and I'm so excited for that, and I thank everybody for their beautiful, kind comments. And I know there was one other thing I wanted to say, but if I remember it, oh, I do know. When we did this last page, this was, what was this page? Embossed. I had put a little Bible verse in here, and I wanted to add a little scrap of fabric or something for a little tuck spot. So I did do that. And then I did find a stamp that said "You, Me, and the Sea," and I put this on the back. I want to add something else here, but I don't know what it is. But it was just very, very plain. So I think that's kind of par for the course. I kind of get to a certain point and I know it needs something else, or I'm not quite sure, and then something else inspires me. So anyways, I added that in. All right, once again, thank you guys so very much. And oh, that's the other thing I was gonna say is thank you, everybody. It's been you know, a few years since I've been on YouTube, and I really appreciate everybody welcoming me back. It's been wonderful to catch up with a few old friends and see what's you know, just chat a little bit. So anyways, thank you again, and I will see you next time.